Oh yes, it is a train wreck Trump Tuesday here at Occupy Democrats, and Donald J. Trump may have just stepped in the largest bear trap of his entire political career because he just poked the real bear. And that doesn't matter whether it was term 1 or now presidency number 2, because Donald J. Trump always acts and talks like a tough guy. And yet, he's lived his entire elitist life in his satin sheets. He's never been punched once, and he certainly has never hit anybody. But he likes to sound like this, doesn't he?
All right, yeah, get him the hell out of here, will you, please? What? Oh, get him out. Bye-bye. Yeah, you can get him out. Yeah, get him out. Get him the hell out of here. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. Get him out of here. Get out. Get him out of here.
And yet from his first term, the person who really knows the truth about Donald Trump, his brains, and his lack of skill set would be one John Bolton. Take a quick listen to this before I show you this breaking story.
Many people are worried that there is like a new friendship between China, Russia, and the United States, and they will kind of start kind of a deal saying, okay, we leave each other alone and everybody can do what everybody wants to do against the rest of the world. What do you make of that?
Well, that's a concept that I know people have talked about. That's beyond Trump's capability. It's obviously a dramatic change in American policy. I think it's a disastrous mistake, but nobody's yet found a way to explain to Trump why going back to being a normal American president benefits him. It doesn't matter whether it benefits Europe. It doesn't really even matter if it benefits the United States. What benefits Donald Trump? You're not dealing with somebody who has a philosophy, who has a strategy, who does policy the way we all normally understand that. He's concerned with one thing, and that is, how does this make Donald Trump look?
Do you think he understands how dangerous Vladimir Putin is?
No, I don't. He thinks he's friends with Putin.
And now all of a sudden, Dandy Donnie, the President of the United States, has suddenly started to try and sound like he's going to play Mr. Tough Guy with Putin. Right.
Well, you're raising a really important point in that throughout the political career of President Donald Trump, we haven't seen many instances in which he's radically, openly criticizing President Putin. But that's what we got over the long Memorial Day weekend. And as Washington gets back to work on this Tuesday, the logical question, okay, what does this mean going forward?
Trump likes to talk about his book that he wrote, Art of the Deal, but I can almost guarantee you there's 2 books he's never read, The Art of War and Know Your Enemy. And in this breaking story, the way Donald Trump goes about actually threatening one of the most dangerous individuals on the globe is our breaking story. Take a listen to this. Breaking story. President Donald J. Trump has threatened Vladimir Putin one day after the Memorial Day holiday on Truth Social. In quotes, what Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, lots of really bad things would have already happened to Russia. And I mean, in all caps, really bad. He's playing with fire. You gotta love the really bad in all caps, don't you? Don't you remember all the times on the campaign trail in 2015, 2016, when he used to talk about how he doesn't like to answer questions or tell people what he's thinking because he doesn't want them to know what he might do or don't do? You notice Trump only does that when it's something he either doesn't have an answer to or doesn't like the answer to. He talks about crap all the time. He's come out with all of this in his second term, he's throwing Hail Marys and tariffs and all of this stuff that he keeps talking about. And he says, countries are calling me to make a deal. And then when he's asked which country it is, he doesn't say, because he is just a plain old weak baby con artist. That's all he is. That's all he'll ever be. He's actually a grifter in a really expensive suit running the most powerful job in the world. And when you start kicking the can down the road and pretending that someone like Vladimir Putin is your pal, when you hold him up, when you ask him to go find Hillary Clinton's emails, when you say we're friends, when you try and get people to think that isn't Putin being my buddy a good thing, when you actually get United States citizens to go to campaign rallies wearing a t-shirt that says, I'd rather be a Democrat than a Russian, not only are you a traitor in ways, you are lining up with a really dangerous enemy because you don't have 1 ounce of sack whatsoever. And he doesn't have any answers for Putin because Putin has played him since day one and maybe even decades before of things alleged to date that we don't have actual evidence on. This is going to be one of the most probably disturbing yet interesting forms of foreign policy and attempted negotiations we've ever seen in our lifetime and your parents or grandparents may have ever seen. Stay tuned, but as always, folks, stay frosty.